Good afternoon, everyone. I first would like to thank Executive Dean Towers and Dean Chakmak for this great honor of speaking at your commencement. And secondly, I would like to congratulate the class of 2017. You should all be very proud of yourselves and appreciate this time. And I mean really appreciate this time. It is a very special time in your lives. You have all worked so hard and have been given the tools and knowledge to go out and take on the world. All of you should feel like anything is possible. To just give you a little bit of a reason why I say that, I think maybe I should give you my story. I graduated from school with an economics degree, moved to New York with a job at a consulting firm, not really knowing what I wanted to do, but I did know I wanted to be in New York City. I quit that job after a couple of months of making copies for the partners in the firm. I did make the best copies, though. I moved to LA and tried everything: PA work, acting. I thought I was a really good actor, but I think in reality I was a horrible actor. I was poor, but so happy to try new things and see what I liked doing. The whole world was opening up to me. I met my closest friends, found vintage clothing because I couldn't afford to buy new clothing. There was a treasure trove of vintage tailored clothing in LA because no one wore suits in LA, except for me. I tailored them to a proportion similar to what my clothing is now. I loved it. I wanted to do so much more with my life, though. It was time to move back to New York. I sold my car. I had to sell my car in order to pay for the move back. I got a job at George Armani as an account executive. I had to ask one of my colleagues how to email. I was officially in the fashion world, and it was so exciting. It was also exciting to have a steady paycheck. Then Ralph Lauren and Club Monaco was my home. This was my introduction to the design side of the business. I loved it. But I always thought that I wanted to take how I was retailoring the vintage clothing in LA and create a collection of my own. This was the start of Thom Browne. It has been 14 years since that first gray suit was first witnessed on the streets of New York. I was the only person in the world to be wearing it, and I loved it. Soon after, there were a couple of friends of mine, through some persuasion, also wearing them. Not all my friends. One told me that why would he want to wear one when it doesn't even look like it fits me? But well, it wasn't for everyone. But the conversation had started. People were laughing at me. People were questioning me. People were curious. Little West 12th Street became the home of the beginning of where it all started. There were still meatpackers in the neighborhood. There was an actual cow's head in front of my door one morning. It was so exciting. I was locked behind the doors of Little West 12th Street. A sophomoric version of my offices and stores today. My checking account was funding everything. The gray marble was gray paint, Dior gray. The terrazzo was black vinyl. Some of the furniture has lived since then, and the blinds created the mood from the very beginning. This has never changed. The simple idea of changing the proportion of classic clothing being housed in an interior that was so close to my own personal interior taste was born. I wasn't in the space very much because I was with Rocco, my tailor, a lot of the time, developing the first pieces. Rocco said he didn't understand it at first, but he saw the clarity in my vision. Rocco taught me the appreciation of the most beautifully handmade tailored clothing. I was on the subway coming back from Long Island City a lot of the time when people would ring the buzzer of Little West 12th Street. The heat in the factory in the summer was epic. I got chased twice while on my way to the subway with garment bags. Good thing I could run, but not always so easy in wingtips with metal taps. These were amazing times. Some people stopped by Little West 12th Street, inquired what happened in there. I make tailored clothing, but only in this proportion. It wasn't for everyone. I was always very honest whether it was right for them or not. It was very lonely. But I knew someone would really understand what I was trying to do. Honestly, the world didn't need another designer. If I was going to do this, I wanted to make a difference. I wanted it to matter. I wasn't approaching it from a pretentious intellectual point of view, but there was an intellectual concept behind it. The simple concept being beautifully made clothing that was classically referenced with a new sense of proportion. I always felt that something made beautifully was always the best fashion. People who were running away from tailored clothing could now consider it again. Classic fabric, classic tailoring, classic sensibility, quality construction, timeless, but always something off to make you see it differently. I will say this again. It was very lonely at the beginning. At the beginning, every store advised me that it was so charming that I should stay on my own. Thank you for the advice. But I had bigger ideas for my collection. My first employee was hired. I was so afraid of not being able to afford him. I reprimanded him for wearing pink socks. I wanted people to see that one single image, always. I know if I stayed true to this idea and people saw how real it was to me, that someone would understand. Someone did, and then the customers did, and then the stores did. I started opening stores, and then came the challenge of keeping up and making sure everyone was happy and everything was perfect and everyone got paid. It is very easy to theoretically stay focused on a vision. Reality is different. At the beginning, so many people advised me to adjust the vision slightly in order to grow. I was too stubborn. I didn't adjust the vision, and this, I truly feel, is the reason why I am here today. Business was not always so easy, but I knew that I could never let it go. I loved it too much. I loved every second of hard work that had been put into it. I could never have the energy, physically or emotionally, to start over, and thank God I never had to start over. Quickly, the first collection started being surrounded by shows that told a story. The stories intrigued people. My father was so intrigued at my first show that he asked, "Who did all this?" The stories and collections evolved every season. They never changed. I feel fashion should evolve and not change. There have been so many shows and collections since 2003. The business has grown along with the years. It has been so much work. It has been so much fun. I think I have loved my collections and shows and my business more than anything else and anyone else. The only more important thing than this is Andrew and Hector. It keeps, it keeps everything in perspective. Having a life outside of work and fashion is so important. I've always approached my collections and shows from a pure design point of view. I want people to see true design. I want people to think. I want to challenge people and myself to see new ideas. I want to elevate people to higher levels, never keep them at the same level, or worse yet, to a lower level. The most important thing to me is to make sure that I have done something that people will remember past my tenure. This will make me truly happy. Now, standing here in front of you, I see the future. This is my story. This should not be your story. Your story should be equally or more thrilling, challenging, stressful, exhausting, fun, rewarding. You should always be true to yourself. People will always respond to your true authenticity. Be humble and be nice. Never fear making mistakes. It sounds so cliche, but some of the best things truly do come from mistakes. Get ready to work hard, but love the work, love the process. Simply love making clothes, and love making them well. Love what you are creating more than anyone else, and what you are creating should scare you sometimes. This means you are truly challenging yourself. Some of you will be working for other collections, and some of you will be striking out on your own. Both paths are exciting, and both paths can lead to success. Don't be afraid of success, and don't measure success on money or fame. Success is relative and very personal. Love and enjoy the process. Don't focus on the result. The results will come if you tirelessly care about the process. This will be your success. Always be open to new things, new experiences, new people. You never know where they may lead. Look less at social media. I sound old now. Put down your phones. Experience life through your eyes and not your phones. Put down your magazines. Know a little bit less about fashion and the latest trend. This makes creating something unique and new so much easier. Never strive to create a trend, create something timeless. And never stop learning. Design is always a collaborative endeavor. Learn from your colleagues. Appreciate and support your colleagues. Never feel like you're competing with anyone. No one can ever do what you do if it is truly yours. Appreciate and learn from your pattern makers, your sewers. Recognize everyone that helps you along the way. I sometimes feel selfish being the only one that comes out at the end of my shows. There are so many people that help you create your collections. Sometimes the ideas are the easiest part. Try to have a real clarity in your vision. If you are clear in what you want people to see, they will see it. Maybe not everyone, but the right one. If you strive to create something new, truly new, or make people think, don't expect everyone to get it. Don't expect anyone to get it. You should strive to create something that people either love or hate, not just like. You, the graduating class of 2017, this will be expected of you. This is what the fashion world is expecting of you. This is what the fashion world truly needs. This is what the world needs. This is what I am expecting of you. I can't wait to see what you will create. And this all starts now. I am so excited for you. And when I was writing this, I was like making myself very emotional because I think it's such an amazing time in your life. And I just truly want to thank you so much for letting me be a part of this day with you. Thank you.